In this video, I'm gonna show you the 4 things that you need to make 6 figures in 1 year as a music producer. I have no doubt in my mind, anyone who pulls off all 4 of these things at a high level can make 6 figures and above. I've already done a video about how to make a living, but 6 figures requires a different mindset. Let's get into it. Number 1. Get good at making music. I've said it before and it's a bit obvious, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. But in order to make 6 figures off music, you need to get good at making music. You actually don't have to be the best in the world, and I'll explain the other factors that impact your ability to earn 6 figures later in this video, but you have to at least be good. I look at skill level as a multiplier. The better you are, the more you'll earn with the same strategies. So what does getting good at making music even mean? It means consistently producing high quality music that people who don't know who you are so interested in that they're willing to give you money for it. This probably sounds obvious, but it's amazing how many producers just assume that their stuff is great when the quality of their work is the thing that's holding them back from earning more. So here's 3 ways you can figure out if your stuff is actually good. The first way is to compare your stuff side by side with something that you consider to be good and that you know is commercially successful. Try to be as brutally honest with yourself as possible and try to be objective. This isn't foolproof because your own ego and bias can get in the way, so don't rely on this alone. Second way, find the people who are in the position that you want to be in and ask them to be brutally honest about the quality of your work. Third, and the clearest way to tell if what you're making is good is if people who don't know who you are responding positively to your work. It doesn't have to be a ton of people at first. Look at this relative to the amount of eyeballs on your stuff. If you make beats of rappers who have never met you wanting to rap on your beats and buy licenses to use them, if you're a sample maker, are professional producers willing to flip your samples and willing to purchase your sample packs? If you're making production content, are people liking and engaging with your content and asking for more of it? If a handful of people you don't know are actually responding well and willing to give you money for whatever you do, then you're onto something and you should double down. Next, I'm about to break down the most important step to making 6 figures plus as a music producer, and just about every producer watching who claims to want that will hear this and do the exact opposite. Number 2, build a strong brand. What is a strong brand and why is it so important to making 6 figures as a music producer? Having a strong brand is like magic. It's what allows producers to charge $50K for one beat that another producer could only charge $50 for. And it's why some producers get hundreds of thousands of views on a YouTube beat when another producer could post the exact same beat on their channel and get 12 views. A strong brand is when you or your brand is the most known for a specific thing. Imagine when a consumer thinks, I need R&B guitar samples. And if you are the most known person for doing R&B guitar samples, you will be the first person they go to. That's a strong brand. So now that we know what a strong brand is and how it helps you earn more, how do you build it? I'm going to show you in 2 steps. First, search for and find an opportunity that you're interested in, is worth pursuing, and you believe you can eventually dominate the category. Choose your opportunity wisely. Some lanes just don't have the potential for 6 figures, but I think you would be surprised how much you can earn in a smaller lane if you have incredible brand strength. You can probably choose a much smaller lane than you think to break the 6-figure mark. Second, keep your focus narrow. Once you've picked your lane, pursue it with all your energy and work at becoming the obvious choice in the eyes of the consumer by being the most consistent and having the highest quality. Think of your favorite artist. I guarantee you can immediately think of the specific sound that they're known for. The more narrow your brand is, the stronger it is. The more you spread your brand out, the weaker it becomes.
Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage.
Don't be afraid to exclude people. You can't please everyone, and you need to stand for something definitively and be known for it, or you stand for nothing and the consumer never thinks about you. The most common objections I hear to taking the action that builds a strong brand, which is how you make 6 figures, is I don't want to make the same thing every day. That is not what this means. I agree, you shouldn't make the exact same thing every day. People will get bored. People that do this successfully, in my opinion, stay in the same lane but push the sounds to new levels, and by doing that, they expand the market for the sound. Think about Drake's signature sound and his evolution from So Far Gone to Views, which is his most successful album in terms of sales, or Kanye and his evolution through his School trilogy from College Dropout to Late Registration to Graduation, which are his top 3 most commercially successful albums. Both of them kept their focus narrow, resisted the temptation of trying different sounds, and pushed their unique sound to a new level, as opposed to putting their name on so many different sounds that they lost all brand strength. Of course, you can find a few exceptions when they've experimented, but in general, they keep their focus narrow, and you'll notice when they've stayed true to the brand that they've built, they have been more commercially successful. Let's take a look at a few successful brands in the online music producer space. All right, so let's go over a type beat producer, 1080 Pale. In the last 30 days, over 1 million views. He's obviously someone we can learn from. When I think Pale, I think a dark image of Drake. Like if we just click on one, okay, so Way Too Cold. I already know it's gonna be a filtered piano, maybe a pad, and then a synth bass and an 808 probably, and then it's gonna have like hard, crisp drums with like an R&B soul filtered vocal. That's my guess. Okay, pad. So no piano. Oh, like R&B chords too, like 7th chords. There's the vocal. Synth bass. There we go. And this is a good thing. Clean, hard-hitting, crisp drums. 19 out of 20 beats are gonna like have this feel to them. Like I said, it doesn't mean not being creative. It means picking a sound and doing it really well. Let's take a look at a brand that I'm sure everyone in the producer community has heard of before, and that's Cymatics. The niche that Cymatics is covered is like the biggest producer niche that you possibly can. And it's like mainstream popular sounds. I haven't even heard this. I bet it's gonna be some either like, because trap melodies are obviously mainstream now, or like guitar melodies or pop. Electronic, like crisp, clean sounds is my guess. I mean, yeah, that's like a hard, like Lil Baby. Very Drake-ish. I mean, yeah, very like electronic sounding, like Billboard type stuff. You're not gonna hear like jazzy, artsy sample coming from Cymatics. Let's take a look at this last brand, and this is Polyphonic Music Library. Once again, just like Pale, very consistent artwork. It's vintage, it's unique, it definitely stands out. Like if we go and listen to the music, it's gonna be very much like very authentic stuff that like Kanye, Cole, those types of guys would sample on like their classic stuff. Let's hear. Each of these brands are like cool with excluding everyone else but that specific niche in market, and that's why they're successful, and that's the only thing that you can do. Like Cymatics is cool not having this certain type of producer that's into polyphonic, and like Pale is cool with missing out on all the J. Cole type artists to sell beats to. That's how you end up building a successful brand as a music producer. Now back to the video. Number 3, do more. To earn 6 figures as a music producer, being good at beats and having a strong brand is a great start, but not enough. Once you have those 2 elements in place, in order to earn more, you need to up your content volume. There's no way around it. At this point, it's as simple as the more you post, the more you earn. But there is a catch. That is only true if you are able to stay disciplined and stay on brand. I think this is what a lot of successful producers mean when they use the term consistency. You can't just blindly post as much as you want. That'll actually hurt your business, waste your time, and you'll make less while doing more work, which is obviously not ideal. This means you're going to have to turn down a lot of seemingly good opportunities. If you're a producer who is on their way to building a solid brand as a drill producer, and someone sends you the craziest Drake loop of all time, it's in your best interest to not use that loop. This is where discipline comes in. It doesn't matter how good the alternative opportunity is, it'll weaken your brand and make it harder for you to earn more in the long run. Once you have all these principles in place, the more you do, the more you earn. Simple as that. Number 4, have endurance. Making 6 figures as a music producer does not happen overnight. You have to go through the grind of getting good, and then you have to endure the marathon of building a brand. It takes time, and there is a lot of painful trial and error along the way. It's impossible to build a reputation as the best at something in the consumer's mind by doing something once or even a few times, no matter how great those initial attempts are. You have to reinforce in their minds over and over again over an extended period of time. It's not always fun, and some days you won't be in the mood to do the things you need to build a successful brand. But if you want to make 6 figures as a music producer, you have to develop the ability to push through the repetitiveness, the failures, and boredom. From my experience, it's always been worth it. Hope you learned something with this. Ask me anything you want in the comments. I'll be responding to literally everything. And if you want to see the tactics I would use to start making money as a music producer, starting from zero, check out this video. Peace.